Hey guys, welcome to another video. And today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I am going to be showing you one of the sites that I regularly use to buy merch and kind of learn about a bunch of different series that I didn't think I'd ever learn about. And, just kind of getting into the whole collecting community. It's called Mandarake. I used to pronounce it Mandarake, like the white person I am. So it's Mandarake, but I'm probably going to be pronouncing it Mandarake throughout the entire video, so bear with me here. I know it's cringy, but okay. So, Mandarake, Rulers of Time. Not entirely sure what that means, but you can choose between Earth, which is the, Western languages, or you can go to the Japanese version, but we're going to go to Earth, and we're taken to this page. No, I do not want to translate. So you have all this, it's like this social media overkill, I can't make sense of it all because I haven't even bothered to try. What matters is the search bar and these tabs right here, Mandarake is a very diverse website. They've got so many things. It's not just, oh, I want to buy anime. Oh, I want to buy some, figurines. They've got an obscene amount of items. And what's interesting is that predominantly Mandarake dabbles in quote-unquote used items. And I say quote-unquote because Japan's definition of used varies greatly between here in the West and there. Used here, you might, I don't know, let's say you want to get a used iPhone. It's probably going to be kind of beat up. It works, but it's not the greatest thing in the world, right? Used in Japan is like the box of this figure you want has a very slight dent in the corner that you could not possibly notice if I hadn't mentioned it to you. I'm not kidding. That is the case. So that's why Mandarake is great. Mandarake. Because you can get things that are considered used, which Japan discounts greatly depending on the quality of it. Like I said, this dented box thing is very common, but there's, things that are obviously clearly damaged in some way that are highly, highly discounted. And if you don't really care, you can get some pretty good deals here. And that's why this is a great website. It's very, very well known, very reputable. One of the best used anime websites that I can possibly think of, other than Yahoo Auctions, which is a mess anyway. Excuse me. So how does it work? So let's get started. I'm not going to log in, obviously, for personal reasons. I'll explain what the perks are of logging in. Of course, beyond, yeah, I want to order something, but okay. So obviously they have this English version, global, they call it right here. If you click on this, it goes to the home page again where you can switch to Nihongo, which is, strictly Japanese. But we're going to go with, see, they even have the English tab in English. But here's the issue. You can type in one term in English and get a very different result if you type in the same term in Japanese. I don't know, if I want to type in, let's see, of course I'm going to go with the most generic thing possible. Yo Watanabe. So we have 208 results, it is automatically sorted by, I believe, when it was entered into the system. So you can choose between, see, latest editions. So you can sort by date, you know, the price highest, price descending. 70,000 yen. That's a hell of a lot. Yeah, you can sort by tons of things. I find it more interesting to search by when it was entered into the system, aka the default. So let's go to a different tab. Let's type in Yo Tanabe. And find her actual name. Damn it, where is it? No, let's Psycho. Okay, so we have this kanji right here. I highly recommend this actually. Like, type in whatever you want on Google and try to find the Japanese name of it. So we have Yo Watanabe, or Watanabe Yo, or whatever. But now we paste in this, and we have 678 items. Much more specific. So now we have a bunch of these cards. Yeah, ultimately, it's a lot more simple to find what you're looking for specifically. You know, there's a lot of things that didn't show up on the page when you just type it in English, despite it being the English version. I don't know. That's just kind of how it is. So what we can do is hit this hide sold out, which is a very useful tool. So we go from 678 to 262 because for some reason they leave up the page for items that are sold out, which makes sense in some sort of way. You know, if they want to include that same entry if they get in the same item in the future, but it's not that helpful for those who just want to buy something that's in stock. So we narrow down almost or 500 results. Shows you the price. You add your cart, which I will explain in a bit. What can we talk about? In the condition section, you know, they have this new tab. They do accept items that are completely new, have completely never been opened. Used, like I mentioned earlier, is if someone has owned it and they're gonna like rate their opinion on it. I kind of want to display an example of that. Okay, let's just check out this prize feed and see if there's any rating on it. This is a very old one. Not the best. Let me do one thing real quick before I come back to this page. Blu-rays are a really good example of this. Okay, this is what I've been looking for. See, under this condition tag, we have rankings. The disc. This one's considered an A. The insert and booklet, which is kind of like, this is a special edition. So you're going to get this nice little booklet with some extras. Blah, blah, blah. A. And the sleeve that comes with it, which I assume is this thing. It's a B. And below they kind of explain in very vague detail. Bonus items all included. If you didn't know this, I own some of these. You know, it's all the extra goodies like the booklet, some cards, some random shit. They don't have any remarks. It can be really vague. Let's see if there's another one that's a little bit more clear. Something more expensive. Okay, this is a good example. All 7. The second season Blu-rays. Discs are A. Inserts are A. B and more question mark. Okay, This is a better one. All the bonus items are included. You get the song CDs, which are included in all 7 of these, and the booklets, which I mentioned previously, that kind of usually explain like the general gist of the episode, have a lot of stills of the images used in the episodes, and you get these sticker things, which are really cool, like UR style as in SIF. Remarks. This is a great one. Damage to case. Damage to case may mean, I know I keep saying this, but a minor dent in the box. Like there might be this super completely invisible dent in the box, but it's a dent, so we're gonna drop it to 7,000 yen, 65 US dollars. That is a fantastic price for this, by the way. And they have these rankings down here. A is average. They don't have like an S. A is great, fantastic. A prime, I assume, minor scratches. B, there is damage. That is very controversial to me. B is like, it's good, but you don't really know what damage there's actually going to be. C, I would avoid. I don't really have any experience with C, but I've avoided it because a lot of sites have had horror stories of C. B, not so much. And anything that's like A, even if it's like remotely damaged, is going to be pretty much prime condition. I have B stuff that I've ordered that are better than some of my A stuff, believe it or not. So yeah, that's very interesting to me. Really, really weird, but that's kind of how it is. But yeah, you can adjust this to whatever your nation's currency is. Pretty cool. I think this is a newer feature. Because in the past I haven't used it that much. So what I want to talk about next is the storefronts, which is displayed in this first gray box below cart. This may not seem terribly important. Let me go back to this. Okay, so if we scroll down to store, it defaults to all stores, and we have every single store that Mandarake operates in. And the common ones you're going to come across upon are like Nakano Complex, Nagoya, Sapporo, those are the ones I've usually ordered from. The exception to the rule, like the rest of these are, like they're regular stores, whatever they're putting their price at, great. They're an actual store you can go visit. And you have this one, Sara. Sara has some of the rarer stuff. But here's the catch. It's very weird to order from. And what I mean by that is that shipping costs are usually automatically calculated, which is complete bullshit because, shipping costs are usually determined by either weight or volume depending on the service you use. Like if it's DHL, I believe it's volume. Anything else, it's weight. But the Sara store just automatically calculates it. So when you order what you're ordering, it doesn't take into account if you're ordering anything else, which is why I never order from Sara. If I'm explaining this wrong, please correct me because I've been using this site for a long time and I have never ordered from Sara because of this. But I'm pretty sure this is the case because it is a warehouse, not an actual store. It's got a lot of really great stuff. Okay, let's just click on this. A it might not show. It's probably not going to show anything because I'm not logged in. Shipping wise, yeah, it's not. I'm not going to do that because again, privacy. But yeah, Sarah definitely has some interesting stuff. I think it has some of the more rare stuff that a lot of people don't buy, opposed to the more popular stores. But I would avoid Sarah if you can. Oh, and while I'm on the topic of stores, you cannot combine items from different stores. So if you want one complete order, like if you're ordering, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 items, you want to make sure they're all from the same store because Mandarake Sapporo is not going to send items to Sarah. That was a bad example. To Nagoya or Shibuya, Nakano. You have to order, if you want everything to be in one order, you have to order them all from the same storefront. And if you can see from this gray box right here, Sarah plus 3 others. So let's click on this. If you scroll down a bit, different condition items, this just says they're from the same store, but they're considered different conditions and same items in other stores. So not only are they in Sarah, but they're in Utsunomiya, Grand Chaos, and Kokura, which is good. I really like that feature because, it helps you kind of weed out what you can and cannot order. Very nice. Very, very nice. And I just want to comment, I know Mandarake's website kind of looks dated, but it actually really isn't that bad compared to a lot of other Japanese sites. I mean, I have used many Japanese sites to order from, and this is pretty solid. AmiAmi actually, I think, got worse over time, and Hobby Search really is kind of an ugly website, but they do good service, so I guess who really cares, honestly, right? Okay, what do I want to talk about next? Talk about storefronts. Okay, shipping methods. That's a good place to go to. So Mandarake offers, I believe, 3 shipping methods. It may have changed. I haven't used that in a while, and again, I'm not going to log in. SAL, EMS, and DHL. They may offer the very, very slow one, but I'm just going to mention these 3. SAL is service error lifting, I believe it's called. Very, very slow shipping method, very cheap. It's not trackable. I believe on Mandarake it's not trackable. I'm not going to say it's not because I haven't used Mandarake in so long, but it's a very slow shipping method that is cost efficient. It's kind of like your, and here in the US, the economy mail. It's cheap. You have no idea when it's going to get to you. It's not like priority mail where it's going to get here in 2 to 3 days because, yeah. There's a middle one that I didn't mention. It's called airmail that a lot of websites offer, but Mandarake does not offer this option. That is quite fast. I usually get it within a week to week and a half. I'm not going to go into that in this one because they don't offer it. EMS, very expensive, very fast. I'm talking, you order, you get it in, I'd say average 3 to 4 days. Sometimes you get it in 2, unless there's some weird thing going on in Japan, right? So, that's interesting. Maybe there's something in how to order error in FAQ. Let's see here. Shipping options. I probably should have gone here first. DHL Express. No, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. Damn it. Okay, SAL. This is what I was talking about. Cheapest shipping method, but very unpredictable. I can definitely attest to this one because I have had packages from Mandarake. I'm not gonna judge them for this, but it took probably about 8 weeks. Excuse me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. But yes, SAO is very slow. People use it for cost efficiency. But like I said, they call it small packet registered. That is a very important term. Why? Because non-registered is also a thing. Meaning, registered. What the fuck am I doing? Sorry about that. Registered is tracked, and unregistered is not tracked. Meaning, if you do SAL registered, you get a tracking number. Meaning, you can see when it dispatches from whatever Japan airport that the package is sent to, and when it arrives in your country, gets stuck in customs, whatever. Unregistered, you don't know that. It'll just show up one day at your doorstep. So, yeah, they use register, which is great. But I've had weird experiences with it. I'm not gonna, like, shit all over it because that was just my experience. Again, they say it's unpredictable because it really is unpredictable. I've had things arrive from other sites in a week with SAL, and then 8 weeks. If you would like your items faster, we recommend selecting a different shipping method. Very, very well spoken. But here's the thing. They have a weight and size limit. So if you're ordering very large things or a large quantity of things, you are more than likely going to have to abandon SAO. 90 centimeters, 60 centimeters. And weight, this is a big one. I think this is more than the dimensions thing. 2 kilograms may not sound like a lot, but if you're ordering bigger figures, yeah, this is going to have a toll on your price, and you're probably going to be pushed up. I'm not really going to talk about economy air, so I'm going to skip that. Post parcel registered. Okay, I haven't used this one, so I'm not going to talk about it. If you want to read this, go ahead. I'm going to skip down the ones I've used. Again, I haven't used Mandarake in a long time, so like I said, air parcel is available. Again, it's faster, more expensive. I've been away from this for longer than I really anticipated. But again, this is a better version. I would always recommend this if you can. Air. Unless I'm just stupid. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. Let's go up to EMS. This is a very important one. EMS is a highly recommended shipping option by pretty much anyone you would ever ask. It's very expensive, but the higher priority thing is a big fucking deal. You know how like the postal system in most countries just is like, fuck it, if it's low priority, we're gonna throw it in that corner over there. We'll get to it when we get to it. EMS, nah. Unless there's some like global disaster going on. For example, I had an EMS package that I had planned to ship at some point in the last year or so. But shortly after I confirmed, yes, please ship this, a tsunami hit Japan and flooded a large portion of it. And I was really worried this package got lost because I didn't get it until 3 weeks after, which for EMS is unheard of. But it got there fine. Why am I referencing this? It's because it had high priority. If this was an SAL package in the same situation, I probably wouldn't even have it by now. Though EMS is available in most countries, there are certain areas, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to click on this, but it is a higher weight restriction than others, which is why sometimes people are forced to use it if they have these very heavy, massive figures or massive orders. They're forced to use this, which is a blessing and a sin at the same time because you get it faster, but you have to pay a lot more because EMS can be very, very pricey. I believe a few years back in like June of I believe it was 2016. It was either 2016 or 2017. EMS raised its minimum price, like the minimum price you had to pay, no matter what the weight. It could be like 1 ounce or whatever that is in grams. 2,000 yen, I want to say it is. You can correct me. Again, I don't care. But I believe it was 2,000 yen. Something stupid. Like, yeah, it's this massive range, but it's EMS. But EMS is a legitimately nice service. It does get here pretty quickly. It's based on weight for the most part. I want you to keep that in mind when I go over the next one I'm going to cover. Weight is important. It doesn't matter how big it is. It can be 10 times as big as some other figure. But if it's light as plastic, it's not going to be as much. That's obviously hyperbole, but we go to DHL Express. DHL is this is actually 100% accurate. Fast delivery, fastest delivery, I would add. It's ridiculous. See, here's what I meant. DHL Express does not have limits on box sizes and weights. They are determined primarily by package size. Size meaning volume. So why does that matter? Okay, so let's take something that's kind of heavy-ish, but very compact. I'm going to use magazines in this example. Magazines can be kind of heavy, especially if they're used with thick cut paper. Let's say you order a ton of those. It's not a big package. It's heavy, but it's very small. And they even reinforce this. Therefore, if you are ordering a small but heavy item, DHL could be the cheapest shipping option for you. There's some strategy to this, guys. EG1, if an order to Korea fits a size 1 box, our smallest box, but when packed weighs 3 kilograms, it will cost 2280 yen. EG2, if an order to Korea fits a size 2 box, our biggest box, but when packed only weighs 3 kilograms, it will cost 12,260 yen. See that difference? Volume, man. So, yeah, it's a strategic thing. Yeah, I didn't think you'd expect that in ordering anime merchandise. But yeah, that's a thing. Again, okay, to sum this all up, I would recommend airmail. It's a very nice, even medium between it's slow but cheap and it's fast but expensive. Let me show you those rates. This is SALPP. Do they have rates? Okay. This is for me, North America. These are pretty standard rates. I recognize a lot of these numbers to some extent. Again, don't use this. EMS, as you can see, 2,000 yen minimum, and it just goes up from there. It's not even a kilogram. So if you're ordering something massive, oh god, I'm sorry. But yeah, I truly believe Air Small Packet is like the best you can go for. So is there anything else I wanted to mention? There's a bunch of stuff you can go for here. I'm not going to talk about Mandarake auctions as I know very little about this. As for FAQ stuff, I know I mentioned that you can combine stuff as long as they're from the same store. I also believe if you already place an order and they haven't processed it yet, and there's an order from the same store that you want to add to said order, if it hasn't processed yet, which takes a couple days, oftentimes they will do that. If you want to ask them to like wrap it in a certain way, I've had them do that. They're very accommodating, which I love. So mail order, we don't live in Japan, so we're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about this general information stuff. OR18. No, I'm not going to talk about that. Oh god, customs. I suppose I should bring this up. So here's the thing. In a lot of countries, we have this thing called customs or duties or whatever the hell you call it in your country. It's tax you pay if you're ordering from an international business. And it's stupid. I never understood why. And it's oftentimes a very obscene amount of money. I live in the US, of course. So I've never had that issue, It's like it comes in, it goes through customs, I get it. There's a few other countries I believe are like that. I believe Australia and New Zealand are the same thing. But I've heard stories from a few of my European friends where it's like, oh shit, you got a European, or you got an international package. I need more money. So you have to read this disclaimer page, I guess, if you're not informed. Items purchased on Mandarake website that are sent internationally are exempt from Japanese sales tax. This is also similar if you go to Japan and shop at Mandarake. If you present like a passport or an ID, you don't have to pay taxes. It's fucking awesome. As our items are being sent from Japan, you may have to pay import taxes, customs, duties, etc. These fees are decided by your country's tax office and or post office. These fees are not included with the shipping cost, and you will need to pay these when your item arrives. It is not, I think they meant to say, as a company, it is not possible for us to know how much you have to pay. Please contact your local tax office or post office ordering to check for potential fees. They're honest, but this is something you have to recognize. I think this is more of a bigger deal for Europe. I've never heard of anything like that in the US. Unless I think it's like over $2,000 in goods. And maybe a lower threshold for Australia and or New Zealand. Domestic, I don't really have to worry about talking about. Payment deadlines. Okay, this is something I need to bring up about all websites. Okay, so PayPal is what I usually use. It's very easy. No issue. Credit card. Fuck credit card. The thing that matters most is we accept credit card payments, including adult items. You have to use it if you want to buy your body pillow jacket. Sorry. So they only accept these three. But yeah, this 3D secure thing is really weird. I've never had to experience it, but I've read people talking about it and they've had issues with it. You know, like not actually going through or anything. But you have to be very, very specific about everything with this credit card. So I would go with PayPal. I don't know anything about Alipay, but payment deadlines, mail order, 5 days. 5 days is very generous, by the way. You know, like if you're going to buy something, you should know ahead of time, do I have the money to buy this? You shouldn't have to have 5 days. Unless, like, your paycheck is coming in within the next couple days. That's understandable, but don't fuck up. Mandarake is very keen to ban, I've read. You know, like, they might give you a pass. I don't know. I've never been someone to cancel anything from Mandarake. But I have read stories of people getting banned very easily because they didn't pay. Which is understandable, because it's like, I don't want my customers to be fucking up my business when someone else might want this. Ugh, God. Do I have anything else I want to talk about? I covered most of the stuff. Again, I could cover... Actually, let me cover a couple things more. It would be much easier if I could log in, but I don't want to, so let me Google some other random thing. I don't know, comment, okay, let's see, I select this nice looking tapestry, which I believe I bought and took away from Mandarake. Oftentimes, if you're logged in, well, I said oftentimes, when you're logged in, you can like favorite this, or you can get an alert for keywords. Like in your keywords, if you type in Ao no Kanata no for rhythm, or the Japanese version of it, every time something that is titled this, or in this item information thing, Ao no Kanata no for rhythm, you will get a notification from Mandarake. I believe it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but I get an email from them like almost every day sending me crap about the keywords that I have that I should probably delete because it's really annoying me. But if you really want to keep up with something that you're looking for religiously, it's a very nice feature. Very, very nice feature. But you want to be very specific because, again, I'm not. It's like, look, this is Ao no Kanata space parenthesis S for without the U rhythm. I mean, it's accurate down here, but it's it's hard. It's really hard. But yeah, keywords are a good way to kind of keep track on things that are coming up. Especially for rare shit. Alright, I think I'm probably going to wrap this up. I hope this was kind of a good idea of what Mandarake is all about. I know this was kind of shitty in some ways. Like, again, I would like to do something a bit more in depth if I like logged on and shit, but I am kind of paranoid about that. So basically what you need to know is search English if you can't find what you want. Go on Google, search whatever you wanted to look for. Find the Japanese version and just copy and paste it in here. Very easy. And then you can sort it by price, by the date it was, accepted to Mandarake, and a bunch of other things. Sold Out is a very good one. I want to drill that into your head. Because you might see something that you've always wanted, but you didn't enable the Sold Out tab. I mean, there's a ton of stuff I could talk about this. I don't know if this is helpful. I could do this on a ton of websites. I've got a lot of ideas, I considered doing like AmiAmi, Hobby Search, Yahoo Auctions, a bunch of more Western, import sites. But this is one of my favorites, so I wanted to kind of just give you guys kind of an idea of how I've gotten a lot of my stuff and my experiences and how I've used this site. So maybe it'll be useful. If it's not, this video was a bust, but whatever. Anyway, guys, if this was helpful, I'd appreciate someone telling me it was. I don't want to waste my time, going on to some other site and just uploading shit that no one's going to watch. But anyway, if you watched, I appreciate it. And thanks again. And I will see you in another video. Bye, guys.